Executive producer Azariah Malone, Cartagena. This is the biggest show. It's gonna be cut short tonight a little bit because we're going to Triller after this. I don't know if you know, I'm having a rap class, like a master class, but a rapper class. And we're giving $500 away. What are we doing, Az? We're giving $500 away to 2 people over at the Triller app. Tonight, I'll be on at 9 o'clock if we like your comments. Shout out to Michael Mad. Prince Markie D. All I've been hearing is beautiful things about the brother all day wherever I go. I went to Khaled's house. He was sad. Rich the Barber just came and laced me, legend. He was sad. Like, it's just... And what's crazy is, I'm watching everybody post about him. Everybody said, yo, I just talked to you 2 days ago. Yo, I talked to you a week ago. Yo, I talked to you. It's the craziest shit because obviously Prince Markie D used to talk to a lot of people. It's also my brother, Lord Finesse. So look, guys, I'm going to break some shit down to you today, right? Lord Finesse, one of my best friends on earth, the guy who inspired me to rap, to make me believe that it was possible. We both grew up in Forest Projects. I took the rough route. Finesse was a much nicer guy. Finesse used to sell these newspapers. Back in the days, it wasn't social media. It was newspapers. So what would happen is, guys would go to the store, buy the newspaper for 50 cents, and come in the store, and like a delivery service, they would go, paper, and then you would buy it off of them for $1. So they would double their profit. So now Finesse was a hustler. He used to do that. We loved him. My mother, my brother, everybody loved him. I remember one day, some guy tried to come in my building and sell papers, and it wasn't Finesse, and we ran him out of there. My relationship with Finesse, his grandmother, just, you know, he kept telling me he was going to rap. I was like, yeah, right. You know, when you from the project, especially at that time, it looked like a war zone. It looked like Vietnam. Somebody telling you they're going to be famous is like the biggest lie you ever heard in your life. And one night I'm listening to Red Alert, and I heard about 5 different Lord Finesse records back to back. And I was like, oh my God, he made it. So he threw the battery in my back. I would have never thought the dream was possible. Sometimes you have to see it with your own eyes. And when I seen Finesse do it, I said, I can do it. And I went for it. And he's the leader of my crew, the Digging in the Crates crew. That's rest in peace, Big L. That's OC. That's AG. That's Showbiz. That's Diamond D. That's Buck Wild. OG. And of course, a whole DITC movement. You know, all of us together, we form this family. So shout out to Lord Finesse. It's his birthday. As you know, life is short. We're seeing all our legends just go. And so it makes me appreciate every breath that I take. It makes me appreciate all my people, all my friends, all my loved ones. And let's shift gears and go back to Prince Markie D. Because this is a hip-hop show. And if you're young and you wasn't from that time, you need to learn. So, in the South Bronx, where hip-hop was created, they would throw these parties, these block parties, these jams. And so the DJ in my hood was Supreme and Hutch and Tipsky. They would bring out these speakers, big speakers, and plug them in to the light pole, the Public City light pole. Now, the cops, after a while, they come fuck with you because obviously I know now there were people who had real jobs, who really worked in the projects. But meanwhile, we throwing parties to 2 in the morning every night in the summer, and those people wanted to go to work, right? And so we would throw these jams. I was just a kid, and so I would be playing softball, playing basketball, just hanging out with the guys, talking shit. And the way I don't know if it was just Supreme and Hutch or this was the jams everywhere, but the way The jams would start with, they would blast, fat, 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 boy, 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 boys. And if you've been at a real jam, the system, the sound system ricochets off the school. It'll ricochet off the blue courts. It'll ricochet. So you would hear fat, 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 boy, 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 boys. And so, that was the calling. And if you watch these movies on Easter of Jesus Christ walking up a mountain and people just walking behind him like an Exodus, that's what it was when we heard this music. And me, of course, being a big fella, being a fat guy, I admired the fat boys. They took pride in being big. They wore Dapper Dan. They were fly. They had movies. They started in Crush Groove. I mean, these guys are pioneers. And it's sad because, you know, and I'm conflicted. I have a problem with myself. Okay, so let's just really get real, right? So Prince Markie D was a great guy. He lived in Miami just like me. He would reach out. I would talk to him, show him love. His Uncle Louie, my brother Michael Madd is on here. He actually introduced me to my doctor who helped me lose weight because he lost weight first. Somebody who cares about your health enough to introduce you to a doctor, that's a different type of love, right? And so I'm mad at myself because I took him for granted. Personally, I am guilty of taking him for granted. And I should have connected more with him. I should have took advantage of building with a pioneer, building with a guy who don't want nothing from me. He never asked me for $1. He never asked me for nothing. All he was a good friend, a mentor. And so I'm sad. I know he was supposed to come on the show, but I took him for granted because I knew he was coming on the show. Does that make sense? Sometimes we take for granted the people that are great, are talented, but if we could get them at any time, we feel like, all right, but I didn't know he would pass. So, you're right, Disorderlies was a classic. And so, rest in peace to Prince Markie D. It wasn't until years later that I found out that he was actually Puerto Rican. He was Latino. I never knew that through the Fat Boys run. It wasn't like there was a Puerto Rican flag being waved. It wasn't like, you know, I just didn't know. I actually learned of him being Puerto Rican through his production. He produced for Mary J. Blige. He produced for a lot of people on Uptown Records with Corey Rooney. And then when I would read the credits, it would say Mark Morales. And that's how I figured out he was Puerto Rican. And I admired him. Better than that, he was just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful person, beautiful soul. Rest in peace to Prince Markie D. I hate that we have to celebrate. I hate that we have to celebrate everybody once they're gone. I'm flying up to New York tomorrow because we're celebrating Fred the Godson. They gave him a city block. I believe it's 163rd and Leggett. On Monday, I'll be out there in the South Bronx. I'll say some beautiful words about my brother. But I hate that everybody has to pass so we can celebrate them. And I don't know why, but it's like that. God bless the man. Also, yesterday I made a mistake and say all the Fat Boys are dead. No, Kool Rock Ski is still alive. Original member of the Fat Boys. And so here, we'll put Lil Yachty on and we'll put Kool Rock Ski on. Vivica Fox and Kalani or Sweetie. This is for everybody. This is what you've been looking for. This is what you've been looking for in the hip-hop culture. Untamed. I have no boss, so I say what the fuck I want to say. Does that make sense? I have no boss, so I say what I want to say. And I represent hip-hop culture above everything. And so it's a daily show. It's live. And if you ain't noticed, we talk about everything. We have a set show. We bring artists on here, big superstars. We bring politicians on here. We'll bring Dr. Fauci on here. At the same time, if something happens, like last month we lost Grandmaster D from Houdini, we was in here doing it big for Houdini. And so, if you want to know why I do stuff like this, you want to know why I'm transparent, it's because when I was coming up in the game, if somebody would have told Little Wild Joey Crack, down with Terror Squad, and because I was rich, I had OGs looking at me like I'm the big homie. But I wasn't the big homie. I was the young homie with money. And so, you know, we got a problem with that in all the hoods. If the young boys is out there making money, we got grown-ass men calling them the big homie. So I had wished a real big homie where I came up to me and said, yo, bro, you got 100 guys with you. They're all gangsters. The people who want to give you money can't give money to you because they can't connect with you. And I would have learned how to move better. Shout out to Keith Sweat, the living legend, sent us these candles. I see 3 up there. We got 4. Where's the other one at so I can show it up close? Keith Sweat, candles by Keith Sweat. Smell so fucking good. Candles by KeithSweat.com. Candles by Keith Sweat. Swarovski's crystals. This one right here is called a Nobody. Nobody is my favorite Keith Sweat song, and it's my favorite candle. And so, go over there and support Keith Sweat. Keith Sweat candles. I got them burning in the back. You know I love Keith Sweat. You know he's a mentor and idol to me. And man, it smells so good. Keith Sweat, candles by KeithSweat.com. Texas. We have not talked about Texas. God bless Texas. Texas is starting to feel like the new New Orleans. There's no light. There's no transportation. It's no, how do you help somebody? This is a real dilemma. How do you help somebody in Texas? Nothing could go in there. And so our prayers are with you. We love you. Don't feel like you all alone. Don't feel like I see H-Town in the house. Don't feel like you all alone and we're not watching and we don't want to help. We want to help. And we're going to help. I just don't know how to get help to you without giving money to one of these organizations that takes 95% of the money and only give you 5%. We got to figure it out. I got to reach out to Bumby. I got to reach out to Trade the Truth and find out how we can really, really help. Because it's sad what happened in Texas. It's similar to being in New York and it's one of them hot days and we got all the ACs going and then it blows out. It's a blackout. But the problem is it's a blackout for them after the biggest snowstorm and the shit below 0. And if I'm correct, Texas is not infrastructure ready for below 0 and shit like that. And so it all came as a perfect storm. Now, Ted Cruz is a piece of shit. And this is the guy who always got something to say. He's always talking shit. He's Mr. This, he's Mr. That. And while the city, people are dying, there's no power, it's below zero, the man goes on a vacation with his wife to fucking Mexico. Tone deaf is an understatement. And so, this man is in charge of the people of Texas. And he goes on vacation. That tells you about their leadership. And do they really even care about the people? And I found through my journey in life, and I've been in a lot of places, and I deal with money, and I deal with people of power, people of money, influence. People would rather have power than money. You ever go to a club and the guy stands in the front of the girl and they start picking people like they're from fucking Rome or Caligula or some shit, and they sitting there and they just picking who they want? That's power tripping. That's power tripping. People want the power. They want to be the guy in charge and walk through like, you know that. You work for some people, and when they walk through the office, you hoping they don't stop and look at you in your desk. Because they power trip. I'll tell you something, man. I might be too nice of a boss. Because of situations I had in the past that made me hate people that I was working with. And I said, if I ever become a boss, I will treat my workers right. And so this is what you got to do. If you're a boss. Now, I learned this from my mentor, J.R. Ridinger, a.k.a. The Billy. And the man taught me so much love. Shout out Andrew Weissman and everybody at marketingamericanshop.com. But he says, everybody should feel like they're a partner. No one should feel like they work for you. And so if you run in the ship, you got to tell these people, thank you for helping me win and helping the brand win and helping the business win. But you got to give them a window of opportunity for them to become bosses as well at some point. That way, people don't want to steal. People will protect the brand. They will protect your business. And everybody feels like everybody doesn't just want to work and wash floors and all that the rest of their life. They're trying to figure out how could they become and get the opportunity to become a boss. And that's how you got to do it. Ted Cruz a piece of shit. People out there dying. Old people can't get their medicine. Kids can't get their medicine. I'm not blaming that on him. I'm blaming that on the fact that the weather was too much for the infrastructure. I'm not blaming that on him, but I'm just saying. For him representing the people of Texas and a motherfucker that always got something to say, gonna go on vacation? That shit crazy. Okay? Especially when your job is to have the people uphold you. And the people elect you. You got to have the love and the respect of the people. Who advised this man to go on vacation while people were dying? And so it's just completely tone deaf. And so that's the difference between us and them. This is a true cultural hip-hop show. So we on it. We talk about everything we need to. Happy birthday, my brother Floyd Mayweather Jr. He invited me to his birthday party. I go every year. This year I got scared and backed out. Why? Because I haven't caught COVID, thank God. A lot of people out there that you see with no mask on and acting like superheroes, they caught the COVID already. There's something called herd immunity. So they caught the COVID and they believe they can't catch it. So they out there. And I'm looking at the pictures of my brother's birthday, and it was scary to me. It was just way too much people out there without one mask in sight. And I'm not the smartest guy, but I'm not dumb enough to be in some shit where nobody got the mask. Tonight, like I tell you, we got to end early. Everybody, if you have Triller, go on there. If you don't have the Triller app, go get it. Because tonight I'm going to be teaching a master class. We calling it the rapper class. Every aspect. And we giving 2 people $500 a piece. Tonight.
If they comment.
If you comment. So Khaled got a show, J-Lo got a show, 2 J's got a show, everybody. They asked me, Joe, what you want this show to be? I said, I want to educate. I want to educate the youth. I want to educate the people who trying to get in the rap game or get in the music game and might not know everything I know. Because I've been around 25 years. I've seen it all. I've been robbed every which way you can be robbed. But we'll go there. Is Ted Smooth anywhere to be found? He's never anywhere to be found. And when I call him, he's going to say, yo, I was here. No, it's Friday night. Wild Cherry Pepsi. DJ Ted Smooth. He got to take us all the way to heaven. DJ Ted Smooth. We got no time for your introduction.
I got to get my mic right now.
Executive producer is clocking you. We don't have time. We got to go on Triller at 9 o'clock. We let 2 people win $500, which is $1,000. And tonight's my first show on Triller doing a rapper class where I'm teaching them about the rap game. I need you to take it. Dare, Ted. It's been a tough week. I need you to uplift the people.
The Remix King. Well, you know, as you know, we always got to start by paying respect.
Ted.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry if they're going to stay on Instagram. They could go to Ted Smooth.
Yeah,
and you
come
continue
on
to body it.
For sure. Go grab that
go
bag.
To Triller. We are letting people win $500 tonight, each. 2 people for coming over to Triller and talking that shit with me. Up NYC is in the building. You see that?
You remember.
Ted, this is a Harlem Haberdashery gin. Bespoke gin. It's my guy 5000 in one of them. Yeah. This is amazing. If you in Harlem, go check them out. Harlem Haberdashery. Bespoke gin. Gin. And you know I got They got 2 flavors. You know I got your man Key Sweat's candles in the background.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
I mean, this shit black on, man. I don't know what to tell you, man. You know, I mean, I try to salute. I try to show everybody love.
Joe, I heard
vintage frames. What do you want me to do, man? I try to show everybody Child Wild Cherry Pepper. You know?
Yo, I heard you was coming to New York this week, and we might be, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, man.
I'm coming tomorrow.
We're just gonna leave that right there, cause the Jopra show might be, you know, we spoke.
It might be live in effect next week. It might be in the present.
The Haven Studios for the first time ever. We're gonna leave it right there.
Test move straight face.
Yo, listen, I gotta go. I love you, Ted. Stay up,
Love
bro.
you, bro. You ain't know. 100.
love. Somebody at the door, right? Yo, listen, guys. I'm going to the Triller app at 9 o'clock, giving it a master class on hip hop. It's called a rapper class. Get used to it. 9 o'clock, we're giving out $1,000 over there if you comment and you participate. I love y'all. This is the biggest show in the game. Put God first. We won't stop next week. Very, very big guests are coming in. They're pouring in next week. I'll give you one. Lorenz Tate is with us next week. Tank the singer is with us next week. I gotta go. Okay. Put God first. This is the biggest show in the game. Biggest one in the land. Peace, y'all. Triller. Go to Triller.